What's up, you guys? Shay's back here with the Corvette boys again, and we're going to be working on the C6 again today. If you remember where we left off last time, we left off with cleaning the outside. I just drove on them, so they're probably got a little bit of brake dust on them and a little bit dirty, but they're way better than how they were looking back here, as you see. So now that we've got them looking nice and clean, we're gonna clean them out on the outside again, but we're gonna work on the inside today because, as you see, it's really dirty, and it also has some pitting in there. So we're gonna get rid of that, clean it off, and we're gonna be painting it. Now, we're also gonna be painting the calipers. If you're gonna be painting the calipers, I always recommend high heat paint, because the calipers heat up. The brake calipers, you're on the highway, you heat up. If you start braking, they're gonna heat up. So you don't want it to start cracking off. So you should get high resistant, high heat Rust-Oleum paint. For the inside barrel is not going to experience that much heat. I was going to do regular paint, but I decided on putting Plasti dip for the simple reason of right now I have wheel weights in there, and I don't want to go get the wheel rebalanced right now for just the sake of painting it. And I was going to take them off anyways to do, to paint them and take the wheel weights off and put the wheel weights back on, and then have it already painted under the wheel weight. But I thought about, for the simple fact of, if I put new wheel weights on top of the new paint, I didn't want it to peel off. If I ever got the tires, new tires or rebalanced or anything like that. So it's a lot easier to take off Plasti dip, if it's uneven or if it peels off. I could just redo it, peel it off, and redo the whole inside than it is to do paint. So I chose on the Plasti dip. I'm going to be blue taping this area off here, all the way around the rim, and then we're going to paint them. And pretty much, I think it's, from what I've heard, about 2 to 3 coats for each side. We'll only doing the barrel, so 2 to 3 coats for each barrel per wheel. I got 2 cans for now because I'm only going to be able to pretty much probably get through 1 or 2 wheels today. Got my blue painter's tape. We're going to clean them. I'm going to use my the blue glove right here, the microfiber glove. I like this. I highly suggest you should get one. Makes cleaning wheels a lot easier. And of course, 2 brand new microfibers. We're going to use some Windex and regular Armor All Shine waxing soap. To get the wheels off, we're going to use a breaker bar and a 19mm deep dish. And without further ado, we're going to get started. Alright guys, so we got the wheel off, and as you see, insides of the barrel are real dirty. I'm going to take it, clean it up. When I left, I went out and I picked up some 1000 grit and some 2000 grit, so you guys can see it. And I'm gonna clean it all out, and then I'm gonna sand them out with that in the inside, and then we're gonna paint them. So stay tuned, guys. Now guys, quick footnote. You want your lines that you tape to be as straight as possible, because that's going to affect how good your paint job is as far as lines go. Because the paint's just going to overspray. So you want to make sure your lines are as straight as possible. And I even took an X-Acto blade and went around these parts right here. These parts I'll probably just put another layer down right here, or just, you can even take it, just rip it in half, and then it sits down. But like lines like this, you want to make sure those lines are as straight as possible all the way up. See? They're straight. Any parts that you see, like right here, see how that part is? Go a little more right here. I'm going to fill that in. But as far as that goes, you want all the lines to be as straight as possible, even down to little stuff like that. Take your time, go all the way around, and I'll come back to you guys once I'm completely done. Alright guys, so this is the next morning. I had to go inside yesterday. It got too cold and it got too dark to be outside. But as you see, I sanded the inside of the wheel. It's a lot better, as you see. And I also finished around here, taping off the whole wheel. All your lines, like I said, the inside right there should be really straight. Just when it's close to the rim. Up here it really doesn't matter, as you see, it's just up here. But you want to make sure your lines are close to the rim. That from the face of the reel to the inside of the barrel are really straight, because that's going to be your paint line. So if that's not straight, your paint's going to look really crooked. So I'm going to get to painting it now, and I'll show you guys after the first coat what it looks like. Alright guys, so this is just like a rough first coat. I decided to tape around the wheel as well, just to keep it as neat as possible. Just went around it lightly, as you see. It's not filled all in. This is pretty much how your first coat should look. Just make sure you stay at a distance. You don't want to be right here. Just at a distance, and keep, when you're doing it, just keep moving lightly. It's gonna see bubbles on it, because that's what it looks like when it comes out. Even if you're painting correctly and from a distance, if you look closely, it comes out like that. So eventually the bubbles flatten down and it gets nice and smooth. But you should just do a few coats. This is just my first one. You should probably do, from what I heard, 2 to 3 coats. And we'll catch up with you guys once this one is done, and I'll show you what the second coat looks like. Alright guys, so this is after like the second coat. You want to just do a light powder coat, that's all guys. You don't want to. So I see some people on there spraying a can going crazy. Just back and forth so you cover your full areas. As you see, some areas down here are still wet. It's just going to have to take some more time and just let it dry. And I'll come back again for like a third, and then I'll do like a fourth coat as well. Alright guys, so this is pretty much after 4 or 5 different coats. I let it dry since this morning, so it's pretty much the last 4 or 5 hours. So if you guys wondering what your end result is, this is definitely the finished product. I just finished this one. As you see, it's kind of still wet around certain parts at the bottom and stuff. It's still drying. It's going to take a little longer to dry. I'm going to have to bring them inside because it's cold outside. But if you guys have any questions on how it sticks or how it looks in person, or just anything at all, just leave it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back to you. Once again, this was Shades with the Corvette Boys on how to plasti dip your wheels. Until next time guys, we're out.